This is the segment that's sweeping the nation. The best 5 minutes of your day about to take place. Chuck, what is it called?
Guarantee.
Of course it is, and you did very well. Hey, whoa, hey, what?
Hey, man,
What's this about? What's this about?
Chuck gave me some of his vodka, and I just want to say I forgot to pay you, Chuck.
Thank you, brother.
Is that what we doing right now?
It's cheap, Jack. I mean, the vodka ain't cheap. The price is cheap.
Yeah, Red Mountain Vodka. I just want to say thank you, Chuck. I appreciate it.
Thank you, brother. Hooking the brother up.
Hey, by the way, you know that he picked LSU to win the championship,
I know
right?
he did. Yeah,
Of course I did.
All right, brother.
All right.
Thank you.
Love you, brother.
The one and only Shaquille O'Neal, everybody joining us. Let me make sure I straighten my tie. Chuck, how much is that? Where's my cut?
$50.
$50, I'll take that. By the way, Chuck, you have turned the corner.
Uh-oh.
You went 3-1 last week, so I got to give you some love on that. You came back around, so congratulations.
So you didn't use your Rovito?
I didn't, but I have a feeling I'm going to use it this week. And, of course, you got LSU, right? And, I wish that you had the same love for the women in San Antonio that you do for the Spurs.
Listen, first of all, I love the women in San Antonio.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Since when?
I mean, I like big things.
That was the only one that you got wrong, by the way.
Which one?
That was the only one. San Antonio did not have a better record than the Memphis Grizzlies.
Hey, let me say something right now. Y'all can already put JAMORANT on that Rookie of the Year. Now, I don't know what his name is. I know nobody wasn't stupid enough to name their kid damn Ja, just J.A. I don't know what his name is, but he is flat out balling. Shout out to Ja Morant. So whatever your real name is.
Ja Morant, and we all know
Close enough.
We all know he's the second pick in the draft behind Zion Williamson. So the first question is, we all know Zion's about to make his debut against the Spurs. Over and under 20 minutes, which one do you guarantee is going to happen? Over 20 minutes played or under 20 minutes in his first debut?
I'm guaranteeing over.
Over.
He's going to play about 25 minutes, which is a good number. You got to play him enough to start extending his win. If you play him 5 or 10 minutes, that's not going to happen. But I think he'll play 25 minutes. So guarantee.
It's me, my first Rovito of the day. I'm going to say he's going to go under. Shouts out to David Griffin. I think he's going to make sure he manages those minutes properly.
25 minutes is managing it.
I'm just saying. They're
25 minutes.
So the Los Angeles Lakers, Los Angeles Clippers is about to go on their award season road trip. So over the next 3 games, who's going to have the better record? The Clippers or the Lakers? So let me just.
Well, that's you got to tell me who they're playing.
I'm about to do that right now. You didn't even allow me to do that.
Okay.
So the Lakers, they're going to Houston, they're going to Boston, and they're going to the Knicks. Those are the games for the Lakers.
Well, they're at least going to go win one of those things.
The Clippers play at the Pelicans, at Dallas, and then at Atlanta.
Oh, the Clippers. Guaranteed.
I like that one. Chris Paul is returning to Houston. Will he get booed? Yes or no? Which way are we going?
Chris Paul will not get booed.
He will not.
Guaranteed.
Okay, all right. Rovito, he's going to get booed.
Are you using 2 Rovitos already tonight?
I have already. I got to catch up. I've been slacking. I got to catch up and get in the game. That's how you win.
That don't mean you can just double down on being wrong.
Rapid fire time.
Okay.
The great Martin Luther King holiday is coming up. We have a slate of games right here on our family of networks. We're going to go rapid fire through each game. So Raptors at Hawks.
Raptors.
Pelicans at Grizzlies.
Grizzlies.
Lakers at Celtics.
Lakers.
Warriors at Blazers.
Oh, Blazers.
Okay, all right. Got all those marked down. Of course, we hope you do get all those right. So now all-star starters. Now this is your last chance, and we do have a visual aid because I know sometimes you seem to forget the picks that you made. So do you want to stick with your pick or do you want to make a switch?
I do not. I want to make one change.
And what will that change be?
Joel Embiid. I'm going to switch him out for Siakam.
Okay, so Joel Embiid is out. Pascal Siakam is in. Why?
Well, because Embiid's not going to play for a month. And you shouldn't vote for a guy who's not going to play for a month. He's already been out at least a week, I think. And that injury, people have had to say you're going to miss 4 to 6 weeks. First of all, he might not even be back for the All-Star game.
So we got to move on. We're running out of time. So Power, I got to give you your props. The Pies episode, you called it. I texted you about it, and I was excited. I was like, hey, you got one. So the question is, are you going to stick with who you think killed Ghost, number one. Are you going to stick with Councilman Tate, or do you want to make a switch?
Well, just for the record, Power, I will never forgive you for killing my Angela. That was just rude, rude, rude. I'm going to stick with Councilman Tate.
We've already eliminated Pies. Is there anybody else you want to eliminate?
Tommy.
Tommy's eliminated. And last question, do you think Ghost is dead?
No.
Okay, got it. Bad Boys for Life. The question is, will it outgross in the opening weekend Bad Boys 1 and Bad Boys 2, the opening weekend sales combined? So the number is 60.
Wait.
The number is 62 million.
Oh, it's not going to even come close to that. They won't get 60 million.
They won't. And that is?
Guaranteed.
Rovito, they're going to go over 60 million. I'm going to go ahead and put that one down.
3 Rovitos? Man, you go 0 for 3.
Hey, 3 is a good number.
Yeah.
So before we get out of here, Super Bowl pick.
I was on my man's Rich Eisen's show. I picked the Kansas City Chiefs against the Green Bay Packers. I'm feeling really good about the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm really worried about my boy Aaron Rodgers, because them boys in San Francisco are flat out balling. They're out there trying to kill people.
That is true.
But
where we going, Chuck?
I'm riding Aaron freaking Rodgers.
Woo, and that is what?
Guaranteed.
And who else is going to the Super Bowl? Is it the Chiefs?
The Kansas City Chiefs.
And they what?
Guaranteed.
Those are your guarantees. That's Charles Barkley.
In it or it's freezing?
Both.
I think it's both.
I'm excited about the game, but I'm
Smitty's
cold.
at the point where you know you're tired and you roll down the window when it's cold and you're like the dog out the window just trying to stay awake. He's been on 7 hours and we just got here. Good to have you on the show. You know, when you sit there and you talk about the storylines around the league stand in the first half, clearly what not only Doncic has done, but to me, what the rest of the team has done to support him, stepping up in the roles they have, and, of course, the coaching of Rick as well. Really entitled, great story.
No, it's been fantastic. I mean, Luka's doing things we haven't seen by guys his age, and every night's a new revelation. I mean, the other night he gets 15 rebounds in that triple-double and 17 assists. It's crazy. Tonight he's already got his season high for threes made in a game. It's Luka and it's three-point shooting. That's what it's been. And they've been able to hold the fort without Porzingis. They're 5-4 without him going into tonight.
We are going to get a chance to talk later tonight about a game coming up on our air that the Nets will take part in, but it's really the game behind the scenes that is being played of damage control, perhaps. Kyrie naming names. Now, when, Santa named all the reindeer and Donald and Blitzen, I don't think he forgot one, because you don't forget Rudolph, you just bring him in last. Perhaps he explained to Jared Allen, Smitty, that, no, I didn't really mean it because I like to call you Garrett Temple. You just didn't know that. I don't know how he explained this one away. He tried to kind of massage it over, but if you're a teammate, how much are you feeling like you're a teammate that Kyrie's paying attention to if you weren't named in the core that he brought about publicly?
You know, the one thing is, as a teammate, you want to keep those things in-house. I mean, that was general manager and coach talk. That was in-house organization talk. And sometimes, I know it's the media, they have to ask you questions, but you don't have to answer in a way where you're going to offend players or also have any question about what's going on in your organization. You can deflect in a good way, Stan. Just got to try to talk about, hey, we're coming out here playing hard every day. We just want to get better and better, and we'll see what we can do when we get our guys back. We look forward to it. But right now, we have a task at hand. We're going to play hard. I'm happy to be back. But when you start talking about next year, who's going to be here and who's not, even if you're the general manager, is not good, but especially from a player.
No, I mean, you don't think it's a way to inspire your teammates to say, hey, if we're going to take the next step, we need different guys. Come on, fellas, let's go. You don't think that's going to inspire
Roy Williams
people?
thought that. Apparently it hasn't worked, though.
No,
Yes.
that doesn't work. And especially it doesn't work. Listen, what the great players do, and we've seen Damian Lillard do this. We see Giannis do it all the time, is you look at yourself and say, I've got to be better. That gains respect to your teammates. And let's face it, Kyrie Irving's in a situation where he's on Boston. They make their run to the conference finals without him. They're not as good the next year. And in fact, last year they were better in the games he didn't play. Now he goes to Brooklyn. They're 5-9 with him playing. They're 500 without him. Like, look at this first. See if you can play better and help us win. And today he tried to make the comment, well, I'm going to always push the organization. I'm all about winning. Walk upstairs and talk to Sean Marks. Talk to Kenny Atkinson, but don't throw everybody under the bus and tell them they're not good enough. I thought it was bad. The guy's a great player. Nobody's going to question his ability. But as a leader, he hasn't been what we've seen in some other guys.
I was just about to go there. You can, Smitty, be a great player in any sport, be a Hall of Fame player, and not be a leader. There are great people that we and everyone watching have worked with, or whatever you do for a living, that are great at what they do, but you wouldn't pick them to go lead the group. Those aren't their qualities. Is it not fair to say that right now he hasn't distributed any of those qualities? Because it's not just the play, it's after the losses last year. I remember the comments, Smitty, we're sitting here and, about 30 shots or whatever he took, made 7 out of 30. I should have taken more shots. There's almost like a combativeness and a defensive nature that really is tough to have if you're going to lead a group.
Yeah, it is. I mean, when you're on a team, the one thing you want all guys rooting for everybody. We're all in this together. Even in losses, we're in this together. When you have somebody going this way and deflecting and saying what I can do, and Stan said it best, I agree, we all know it. He's one of the top talents I've ever seen at that point guard position. But what's next for Kyrie? Not just his individual, is bringing guys along, being a mentor, and also winning games. That's what all the greats do, and he has a chance to be one of the greats because of talent, but he just might not be because he can just be good because he doesn't have that next step.
Here's the other part people don't talk about, and a lot of you at home get this in your own walk of life and business, and we separate sports, Stan, unfortunately too much. Luka, last year, rookie. Ja this year. Go look at the veterans and the coach like a Rick Carlisle and how they bought into that guy, not only taking the big shots, but what can we do to help him? Let's get inspired like he is because of the way they carry themselves. They didn't have to say anything because the way they played did that. Go look at Memphis right now. You look at Crowder and those guys. They're like cheerleaders every time that they're not on the floor. How much did you see when you coached that if the best player handled himself in a certain way, his mouth didn't need to really do what the rest of his body language could for everybody else?
Well, no, that's exactly right. And Smitty knows, being on teams, and Smitty was one of these guys. If your best player is on board with what's going on, from a coaching standpoint, life gets easy. Then you're just doing the X's and O's and calling plays, because once that guy's on board and he wants to do everything the way you want to do it and you're allied with that guy, I mean, who else is going to step out of line? It's really easy. Yeah, Kyrie's got to be better in this kind of situation.
And I hate to tie Kyrie, I'm going to close this out for now, we'll talk more later, back in with LeBron, but you think about the Lakers this year, and Frank, who, look, you don't only have a very good coach, a defensive, tough guy. I mean, it is what Jersey is. But you've got Jay Kidd, and you've got Coach Hollins, and that could have gone wrong, right? Guys, they're trying to figure out their chemistry, too. When LeBron buys in playing with defensive effort more often than not, more than we've seen in the past at this age, how much is that exactly an example of what Stan's talking about, Smitty, the way the Lakers have bought
It's everything. When the best player beats everybody to the gym, you start to look around. When the best player is a guy is taking care of his body, he doesn't even have to be vocal. When the best player is buying in defensively, when the best player is doing all these things, it makes it easier for everybody else to fall in line. And if you don't have players fall in line when the best player is doing it, then you have a problem with your team. But I think also coaches have a problem when sometimes the best player is just giving lip service, saying he's doing all this. Everybody knows when it's for real. And that's when you have a team that people want to follow, and that's when you start winning games you're not supposed to win.
Interestingly enough, Miami, I think of, we'll also get into play tonight, is almost the opposite of the situation. Jimmy was always going to work that way and was always upset the team wouldn't. He got to Miami, he's like, wow, I don't have to say anything. I got to catch up with them. You got Bam and Hero and those guys working so hard because sometimes it could be a culture, right?
Well, I was about to say,
right?
I love Jimmy Butler.
The culture.
This was in place.
Right? That's right.
Jimmy Butler.
Yes.
Jimmy just was on board the train as already he's going in this direction.
For the first time in his career. I mean, every time he's gotten somewhere. But every time he's gotten somewhere, Smitty, he's had to worry, oh, no, they don't work like I do. He got here. He's kidding a candy store. They work like him.
They do.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say they didn't work in Minnesota. They worked in Chicago. I mean, and maybe
certainly when he first got there.
When he first got
Chicago,
there, yes,
when
absolutely.
It was Luol Deng and Derrick Rose
They were.
and Joe Noah. So
yes,
he was there before. look, in Miami, it's just they're going to operate under their culture regardless of who you are. You know, a lot of places get a culture in place, but if the players want to go a different direction, they sort of give in to that. Miami's not going to give in to that. Eric Spoelstra and Pat Riley, that's the way you're going to operate, period.
And sometimes guys just emote leadership qualities to close it. Indiana, we've talked to teammates of Brogdon this year, and he's become like the leader there without Victor on the floor, and he's a new player. But just the way he is, others wanted to follow the way he's acting.
Stan said it best, and also to add, you got Eric, you got Pat, you got that organization, but you also have a teammate down there, Udonis Haslem, at the end that
accountability.
If he gets a little bit out of line, he has something to say in the right way, and he keeps everything going. That's all you need. Malcolm Brogdon has a winning mentality that carries on to other guys.
Perhaps in Philly, maybe still looking for their UD type, or who's that kind of compass balance that everybody looks towards. It's Stan here. You don't have to worry about that. He'll talk to us and coach us up during the break. We got more coming up on Game Time, including getting through all of the highlights. Luka. I mean, Dwight Powell, it is like we're in slow motion.
Wait, now he's just having too much fun.
I mean, was that on regular speed?
He gets whatever he wants.
In it, or it's freezing?
Both?
I think it's both.
I'm excited about the game, but I'm
Smitty's
cold.
at the point where you know you're tired and you roll down the window when it's cold and you're like the dog out the window just trying to stay awake. He's been on 7 hours and we just got here. Good to have you on the show. You know, when you sit there and you talk about the storylines around the league, Stan, in the first half, clearly what not only Doncic has done, but to me, what the rest of the team has done to support him, stepping up in the roles they have, and of course the coaching of Rick as well. Really entitled, great story.
No, it's been fantastic. I mean, Luka's doing things we haven't seen by guys his age, and every night's a new revelation. I mean, the other night he gets 15 rebounds in that triple-double and 17 assists. It's crazy. Tonight he's already got his season high for threes made in a game. It's Luka and it's three-point shooting. That's what it's been. And they've been able to hold the fort without Porzingis. They're 5-4 without him going into tonight.
We are going to get a chance to talk later tonight about a game coming up on our air that the Nets will take part in, but it's really the game behind the scenes that is being played of damage control, perhaps. Kyrie naming names. Now, when, Santa named all the reindeer and Donald and Blitzen, I don't think he forgot one, because you don't forget Rudolph, you just bring him in last. Perhaps he explained to Jared Allen, Smitty, that, no, I didn't really mean it because I like to call you Garrett Temple. You just didn't know that. I don't know how he explained this one away. He tried to kind of massage it over, but if you're a teammate, how much are you feeling like you're a teammate that Kyrie's paying attention to if you weren't named in the core that he brought about publicly?
You know, the one thing is, as a teammate, you want to keep those things in house. I mean, that was general manager and coach talk. That was